Good morning. Good. Today we will be speaking about knowing your purpose. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Liburd, and I am a bookstore owner and also a personal mastery coach. And my scopes are all about the bits and pieces of the puzzle that goes into achieving success. Right. So that's what I've been speaking about for the last few weeks, and that's what I will continue to speak about. So today we're going to speak about knowing your purpose. Knowing your purpose. And purpose is pretty large. It's a pretty large word. It's a small word, but it's pretty large in people's minds when you hear your purpose. Because for us, when we hear the word, we think there's something big to it, right? There's something big to it because we live in a society where most things are related to other people that has achieved certain goals that a lot of us don't think it's possible for us. We don't think we can achieve in that kind of scale, right? But knowing your purpose is a personal thing. It has nothing to do with what anyone else has done or what anyone else's purpose is. Yes, we interrelate. My purpose and someone else's purpose may interrelate, and because we are one, right? And we may work together at some point in time. What we do may complement each other, may make the picture more whole, right? But knowing your purpose is all about you and your journey, right? So I see there's a few people on. I'm going to share my purpose. I'm going to share my purpose and my journey so far. And I would like to start with, I'll speak about the bookstore because, this month and December the 18th, I'll be celebrating 18 years of, opening Knowledge Bookstore. Knowledge Bookstore was a dream for me. It was a dream for me that I had right out of university. It's something that came to mind. I love reading, always have. I've always been an avid reader, and when the idea, I came out of university and we were in a recession, couldn't get any jobs, you were competing with people more experienced than yourself. So I had to come up with something to do. I had a lot of free time. And I came up with the idea of a bookstore. Not just a bookstore, but a specialized bookstore in selling products that relates to the African community, the African American community, the Caribbean community. That was my idea, and I had a lot of time, so I was able to move on it quickly. I drew up a business plan. I made calls to publishers. Within 2 weeks, I was handing my business plan out to banks trying to get a loan, right? So I acted in that quickly. That was the dream, right? The reason why I wanted a bookstore is for myself. I didn't learn about a lot of black writers at an early age. It was my last year of high school when there was a teacher who recommended that I do an independent study on Langston Hughes. She gave me a few names: Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, Alice Walker. I chose Langston Hughes, and that changed my life. It changed my life. I got a direction from that after I did. That's the only presentation in high school that I actually did that I wanted to do, right? And that was my last year of high school. But I discovered from there, the journey began with black writers and just the books and so forth. So I discovered, something that I really enjoyed. I got a purpose, right? And to take that further, when I reflected, I thought to myself, this is something I would like those that's coming behind me, the younger kids in my community. I would like them to be aware of this a lot sooner than I was aware of it, because I think it can make a massive difference. And that became my purpose. My purpose became, you know, being able to gather the resources together so that the people within my community have access to those resources and they can educate themselves, entertain themselves, whatever it is, beautify their homes and so forth. That was my purpose behind, you know, creating Knowledge Bookstore, and it became the thing that I was living for the last, you know, like I said, 18 years, right? Everything I did towards that. I wanted to be able to empower my community. I wanted to be able to present them with material that would inspire them and motivate them, and to let them know that they have something within themselves that's worthwhile, that's worth celebrating, that's worth acknowledging, right? So I wanted to do all those things, and that's what the journey of Knowledge Bookstore was all about. And as I got older and I started to grow, I realized, you know, that I love learning. I specialize, I have a specialty bookstore, but my reading is wide, very wide. I read on a lot of subjects. I read from a lot of authors, right? And, you know, so in maturing, what I've come to recognize is, for me, my purpose is even greater than what it was before. I've adjusted that. You know, and first I start with myself. And my overall purpose right now is for myself to grow continuously, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially, right? So I have a conscious goal of growing in each of those 5 areas. And that's what my purpose is. And the things that I do are directly related to each one of those core areas. Right? That's my purpose that I live every day. I want to be able to empower people. That's why personal mastery coach attracted me, right? Because, you know, I want to be able to do as much as I can to not only help myself to grow, but to help others to grow, right? You know, so that's the journey, and that's outlining my purpose, right? I'm not sure if there's, you know, I'm not sure whether you guys getting what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? The idea is to kind of get to know yourself and get to know what resonates with you, and, you know, write that purpose out. Make it a part of your daily life. In everything you do, be conscious of it. And it's not something that's written in stone. It's not something that cannot be adjusted. It can be adjusted because, like I said, I love growing, and as you grow, then you realize you have to adjust certain things, and that's what I've done continuously. I've adjusted the things that I'm doing. I keep a journal. A journal is very important. It's one of those things I would always recommend, you know, especially when you consciously know you're on a journey, and you consciously want to see your growth, and you consciously want to know how you're doing, especially on that success journey, right? Because remember, you got to define success, and you got to set your goals. You have the things that you would like to achieve. Not everyone believes in setting goals, and that's fine, right? You know, call it what you want, but we all strive for something, right? We all strive for something, and I think you should do something that makes you happy, something that makes you fulfilled, right? The journey involves knowing what you're going after, knowing that purpose, knowing what makes you feel alive. What is it you want to contribute to this world? What is it you want to contribute to yourself? What is it you want to contribute, right? Because we're all here for a purpose, and we all have something to contribute, right? So that is purpose for today, right? Just knowing your purpose and living your dreams. I encourage you to spend some time. It's coming up to the end of 2015, and January 1st is a good time for some reflection, right? And it's a good time. I mean, I know everyone makes, most people make some New Year's resolution, and they quickly disappear a few months, few weeks into the year. But when you're talking about your purpose, you're talking about something that's going to remain with you for some time to come. You're talking about something that determines what you will do tomorrow when you're planning your daily agenda, because everything goes towards your purpose. It becomes part of you, and you just develop you develop that purpose. You develop your actions, all those little things that you do on a daily basis. You're now consciously aware that they have to fit into the puzzle of what you're trying to achieve, what you are here to do, right? So, again, my name is Sean Liburd, and we are on a success journey. We are looking for our success formula, and I believe each of us have a success formula. I believe it's unique to each of us. I know that you can learn from others, right? But I don't think you can do anything exactly the same way that anyone else does it. I think we're all unique, and we're all going to do it uniquely, right? We're going to do things uniquely. And I think we have to also, because there's something within us that has to be satisfied, right? So we can learn from others, but we also have to put that into, our own way of doing things, right? Not to say that there's definitely aspects of ourselves that we will have to adjust, right? But that's what growth is all about. Growth is about finding out what you have to change and what you have to adjust, and just seeing what's repetitive and what needs to go, what needs to be cleaned up, and what needs to be built upon. Right? So our purpose, your purpose, my purpose, we all have one. We all have one. We may not know what it is because we haven't given it the time, or we look at the word purpose and it seems large and scary. But whether you consciously sit and determine it or not, you have a purpose. So the idea is for you to be able to focus in on exactly what it is that you know that your purpose is, instead of, just drifting in and out, right? Because we're going to try to avoid drifting as much as we possibly can, and to be conscious of what it is that we're trying to do, right? So, I thank you for your time as always. I give thanks for that, because I know time is precious. It's one of those resources that's very precious. And I appreciate the time that you've spent listening to me. And feedback is always important. You can reach me at my website, learningwithseanliburd.com. My name is SeanLiburd. learningwithseanliburd.com. You can just look me up on Facebook, Sean Liburd, and we also have a Learning with Sean Liburd group there that, So if there's any feedback or anything, please don't hesitate. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to comments, because that's the way we grow, right? Feedback, it's very important. So again, thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful Sunday morning, evening, because you can be anywhere in the world. So I'm not sure what time it is for you, but for me, it is morning. So I would just say enjoy your Sunday, and if you're already into Monday, if you're still in Saturday, enjoy your day. Okay, have a good one. Bless.